Hi everyone, it's Andy from Bodyhero. I'm the managing director here, and I thought, given we're just starting to ship this week, I thought I would give you a little bit of an insight into where we've been on this journey, some of the thoughts I guess I've been through over the years, and what's brought me to this point of starting the company Bodyhero and launching our products this week. So this is me, cringy as it is, in my previous domain in the health club world. So my background was in health and fitness industry for the last 20 plus years. I started out as a fitness professional, so a fitness coach and group exercise instructor. I've been a personal trainer. I'm not a nutritionist, but I have studied nutrition coaching and well versed in that sort of space of nutrition coaching. And then I spent, I guess, the latter part of my career in health clubs for probably the last 10 or 15 years in management at the highest levels in a major health club chain. And my job there was to direct a range of strategies to ultimately help members get fitter, healthier, live better lives. And that had lots of components to it, from designing gyms to creating group exercise classes, to managing kids' junior activities and swimming programs, and anything that was deemed a product within the gym health club space. Really was my ultimate responsibility, and part of that was obviously what nutrition products, what supplement products, what snack products that we would tend to sell through the clubs. And I guess my first observation, after a period of time there, was we were we weren't offering the best solutions, I don't think, and it was an area that hadn't really been considered fully. And we spent some time looking into what was out there, and really wanted to challenge the convention that was in the UK health club market with regards to the types of supplement products that we were, I guess, endorsing through selling them through the club. So we did some work on that. And my overriding feeling at that time was that nothing was really good enough for what I was looking for. I'm also, what I class as a lifelong troubled plant-based eater. So I've lived 45 years this year, as a troubled vegetarian stroke vegan stroke flexitarian, whatever you want to call it, where I've dipped in and out of at times of eating bits of meat or eating dairy, not eating dairy. But I think the overriding theme is I've always kind of felt like I'm a plant-based person. But certainly in the industry that I was in, there's a lot of peer pressure to act a certain way. It's when you're in health club space, it's pretty common to eat as much chicken as you can possibly get, right? So that sort of troubled me for a while, but I think in the later years, really wanted to look at the plant-based space and look at what we could bring to members that was better ingredients that we could put into their bodies through being more of a plant-based approach. But there was nothing really out there that I could find that ticked all of the boxes. So that led me to think, well, why is there a gap here? What's the problem, and what's my problem with kind of what's out there? And these were the 8 key areas that I felt were just lacking in a lot of the products on the market. So when I looked specifically for plant-based products, and post working for the in that health club space since, and working on this project, there's a lot of products out there, and obviously there's more and more coming each week. But one thing I noticed is some of them are quite cheap, which when you look into it, and when you kind of taste the different proteins out there, there's a lot with using low quality protein sources. It's typically very hard to mask plant proteins relative to dairy based proteins. It's more difficult because you're dealing with things like pea, and that means there's more masking to do. And quite often you'll find that cheaper proteins are harder to mask, which means you need more ingredients, more artificial things in there. The other thing that I noticed was that there's quite a lot of the products out there, or majority of bars, for example, just have a low amount of protein. They're classed and badged as high protein products, but they've only got 10 grams of protein. And when you're looking to use something post exercise, you want more than that. So I couldn't find anything out there really that consistently had 20 plus grams of protein in a bar. And also, with the exception of bars, nothing else out there really has any sort of fiber content whatsoever. And I think you only need to read in the news, the sort of the prevalence of gut health out there these days. It's something that people are looking to address much more than they were before, and it's much more there's much more knowledge out there. So it's that that was an obvious gap. And then there's so much artificial and chemical ingredients in these products. You've really got to look at the back of these products to see what's in there before you put these things into your body. And I was horrified at some of the ingredients that were out there. And I think that sort of some of those things lead on to the fact that there is a perception out there, and perception is probably real, that a lot of plant protein products don't taste very good. In my experience, a lot of them are very sickly sweet. They're using tons of stevia, for example, and it really gives you that sort of back of the throat sickly sweetness, which quite honestly, I personally, I'm not looking for a Mars bar after I've exercised. I'm looking for something that that yes, it's got a sweet sort of treat element to it, but I want something that's a bit more balanced and not like I'm having confectionery. And then I think there's a lot of products out there that are just it is a bit of a wild west if you don't know what you're looking for. So you've got to look for reputable brands that are investing in testing their products. And there's so many out there that just don't take that step. And again, would you put that into your body when you don't know what it's got in there? And then I think there's a lot of products also out there that make a lot of false claims, a lot of false health claims. There's a lot of products that that have added all sorts of ingredients so that they can differentiate themselves and make all these kind of claims about this product will do this and that and whatever else for you. But you've got to, again, I think, be really skeptical of that when the level of ingredients that they're using is just far too low for that ingredient to make any sort of functional difference and have any functional benefit nutritionally. But what that then does is it alters the taste profile, because there's yet again more things in there to mask, and also adds cost to the recipe. So you end up with some very expensive products out there. So those are some of the things that that I found were a problem, and what triggered us to think about, well, okay, how can we create something that solves this? And so that's what we did. So these are the key things that we tried to address through the product. So one of the things we wanted to do was make it easier for the consumer to understand what they're getting. So in every one of our products, whether it's our bar, a serving of our powders, an individual sachet of powders, or a ready to drink shake, you're always going to get 20 grams of protein. We felt that was a nice consistent message that's easy for you to understand. Okay, I can just grab for whatever format I want, and I know I'm going to get that 20 grams of protein. We made it high fiber. The fiber levels are slightly different depending on the product, but we really wanted to make a product that was more than just protein, that helped promote a healthy gut in the same process as a kind of secondary benefit. We made them all to be low sugar. I think we're all there now. That sugar is too much sugar in the diet. It's not a good thing. So, we try to make these products taste great without using hardly any sugar in there, and also without using a huge amount of other natural sweeteners too. So we are a nice balanced flavor profile, which gives us like the fourth point there. Which there's a focus on taste. And I think there's lots of products out there that will start from a spreadsheet and end up being a great nutritional profile but taste not very nice at all. And we I think tried to meet in the middle somewhere, where we wanted to certainly achieve certain parameters nutritionally, being 20 grams of protein, making sure that it was high fiber, but not being too specific on how much that fiber content was, just making sure that we were giving you a specific amount in each product that achieved the high fiber claim and helped people to get that 30 grams that they should be eating per day. But we wanted to balance that with making sure that the products tasted great. So we spent, it seems like an inordinate amount of time really perfecting which ingredients we use to get the taste to match the nutritionals. Then we made sure we comprehensively tested. This is a really important step, and it costs a lot of money to do this. But we're working hard with Informed Sport to make sure that all of our production batches are tested for any sort of banned substances, and then we separately heavy metal test and also test for any contaminants or pesticides, fungicides, herbicides. So you can really have peace of mind that these products are comprehensively tested. We wanted also, to place a lot of emphasis on creating products that are for everybody. So anyone can consume these products, and that means trying to be as allergen friendly as possible as well. So that there are a lot of products out there that rely on soy, for example, and from an allergen perspective, but also from an environmental perspective, we wanted to steer clear of that as a principle. So we haven't got any soy in our products. Our powders and our RTD shakes are about as allergen friendly as you possibly get. 100% natural was again, going back to the artificial chemical ingredients that are in so many products out there. We really wanted to make a stand on that and just use as natural ingredients and as few ingredients as we can, whilst being sensible in that, you've got to make sure that the recipes, achieve the right consistency and whatnot. So there are certain things you need to include, but being as natural as we can. One of the founding pillars of this business also was that we really want to make a difference to the planet, to the health of the planet, and have a bigger purpose outside of this being really good for you and your body. We want this to be a force for good in nature as well. So there's a few things we're doing, and you'll see if you've explored the website that we're planting trees. We're working with a company called Ecology and Eden Reforestation that help us to plant a tree for every order placed on our website, and that's in a couple of areas such as Madagascar abroad. We're also planting trees every month in the Scottish Highlands. So we want to do our bit to support biodiversity globally, but also more locally, where we can really make an impact in this country as well. And a couple of other things we're doing. We are funding some climate projects to offset carbon emissions of our staff. And we really, when we set out, we wanted to make sure that all of our packaging is 100% recyclable, which I think is a first in, certainly across all products in our range. There's other people doing, and I'm sure everybody now looking at the packaging and trying to reduce, single-use plastic and whatnot. But we really wanted to make sure that that it was as recyclable as possible across the board. The last 2 points there, convenient and affordable, I think are given these days in this day and age. But obviously, being direct to consumer and selling through our website, it means you can a couple of clicks and it's delivered to your door, and hopefully at a price that is affordable to as many people as possible. We've got we know, for example, a couple of other products out there on the market are using similar ingredients or similar pea protein, for example, but they're about 30% more expensive. So we really looked hard into making sure that obviously we've got to make money out of it, but that we know that we can manage our costs sensibly and make it as affordable as possible to you. So I'm going to leave you on this. These are the products. Obviously have a look around the website. What I'll do in future blogs is I'll go into a bit more detail on each specific product. But thanks for listening. Hope that was useful, insightful, and we'll speak to you soon.